Hello, hello. How are you this fine morning? I don't know if you can see it in my eyes, but these last few days I've been exploring depths of emotion, and they crack me open. There's things in my life that are causing those emotional, I wouldn't call them cracks, but the opening, the shining in, is that emotion. The TV show Grey's Anatomy, some people may laugh at that, but it's been my companion for the last little while when there's a lot of heat here and just not feeling like going out and being around people. But the show is amazing in showing the depth of so many facets of being human. And it's opening me in this glorious way. I just watched, it's near the end of season 5, but this little girl shot her daddy 17 times with a handgun because the dad was abusing her. And the mother was trying to protect everyone and hold everything together. Just seeing the emotion, and then the emotion of Meredith Grey, who's the main star, and her lack of family and how she was kind of abused in her childhood. And just reflecting on all these incredible facets of the human experience, of how awful, crazy things or traumas or wounds, etc., can shape you and give all these awarenesses and effects that we couldn't have got any other way. And most of our lives, we're taught to not be emotional, not be feeling what we feel, to kind of protect the other people or kind of hide the thing, the wound, the whatever happened that wasn't right or wasn't good or had some judgment to it. But as we hide those things, we create these barriers, these walls, I see it as kind of like this muck encased little child, like, when the muck gets so crunchy and it's like cracked and thick and whatever, and I just see the little eyes of the child open up, and you can see the white and their eye color and maybe their mouth. A lot of us, that's where we've ended up. We've kind of hidden and pushed down all of our emotions and forgotten how to really feel. And I'm finding it with each episode of watching, it's kind of like a healing experience for me. Sorry, I'm getting emotional now even. But to feel those feels, to see that there's love sometimes underneath this stuff. Crazy family that's overprotective, crazy relationship stuff where you're not saying what you want or you need, and confusion reigns, and then the whole thing smashes and crashes while everybody's just trying to love each other. I see that in our life now, and I see this craziness we're chasing to feel loved, to be loved, to experience love. And we've been so battered. We've been so lost. We've been so hidden and hiding of what we really felt. And some of it's pain we feel. Some of it's maybe joy or hope or possibility. And we go into these experiences, and then our societal programming tells us to hide it, to not be too emotional because it might scare someone or it might make them feel uncomfortable. But instead, we take that uncomfortable on for ourselves, and we never really know why. So our little child inside is kind of like it's not safe to really be myself, to feel the fullness of emotions, to feel sadness and sorrow and the wounds and the pain. And I'm just going into it now, and each experience, almost every episode, has something that just bursts me into tears. And it's beautiful because it's creating this openness and this softness inside, and being okay without anything, or with anything that shows up, to not be bad or not be sad, or not that I'm not being them, but to label them, to say that's a bad thing. Another part of the show is watching people transition through their death. I've had experiences with my grandmother when she passed of cancer a few years ago, and everybody was so uncomfortable in the room standing beside her, and with her impending death. We all knew it, but I felt so called to just sit there and hold her hand and kind of do a life review with her, and feel all these things. And she had all these insecurities and sadnesses, and I was able to reflect and say, holy crap, if you wouldn't have had my dad, if you wouldn't have had all these other kids, look at all these people that wouldn't be in your life that are flourishing and being magic in this world. So we end up walking through this world kind of doubting ourselves and not sure if we're doing okay, or if we're successful, or good or bad, or whatever. But when we get okay with whatever emotion shows up, and to accept it with no judgment, magic starts to happen. This softness in my heart, in my nervous system, just begins to flow, and this little, like, almost giddiness afterwards, like, holy frick, it's like, this is intense, but I love to live intense. I love to feel the edges so that I can really know who I am. I can really step into my fullness. I can really shine. And I want to be that person that shines with emotion and is okay with them, and expresses them in not scary ways, or ways that I could care less if it makes people feel uncomfortable, because more than likely that uncomfortable that they're feeling is their own trigger, or their own worry that they're not feeling emotion, or the fact that that emotion is there and they don't want to go there because it might scare them. But as we welcome the softness, the sadness, the sorrow, the tears, the awareness of something greater going on, every hard thing that we're going through in this world, then a magic emerges. You just like see the beauty and the grace of everything. And without emotion, we kind of lose that. We just choke off and say, okay, that's not okay, that's not good. If I have tears, what are they going to think? Or they think I'm soft or weak. But each time I go deeper into emotions, especially sadness or things that cause my tears, I accept myself. I allow, like, probably over half, maybe 75% of me was blocked off, because as a man, I wasn't allowed to have emotion or tears, or I had to suck it up, or stop, or whatever. But my true power, my true strength as a man, is to be able to negotiate through that and let them flow, and hear and listen and allow, and not have to fix or shut off or shut down or whatever, which is the way we're taught to negotiate through emotions. But instead, just to be and sit with and hold space for, and love what shows up. And it's magic. And that's why I'm speaking here. I just wanted to give an experience of what it feels like to flow in the emotion, to let the tears flow. And it's not sadness. It's kind of like a joy of being real, of not having to be something, but just flowing in whatever shows up. And none of it means anything about anyone. It's just my experience in that moment of feeling the energies, feeling the love, feeling the the distortions, even the past, the shutoffs, and feeling the constrictions. But the constrictions just kind of melt away as we open to our fullness of whatever shows up. Learning self-control and learning how to handle our triggers and handle complex stuff that shows up, like rage or anger or whatever, is also part of the journey. And those are emotions that need to be felt to their purity and to their depth with no judgment. And then we see ourselves. We don't lock a piece of ourselves in a cage and say that angry beast can't come out, because it'll come out when you least expect it or at someone that doesn't even deserve it. So right now it's just like, okay, I'm an emotional being. And it's key to me in being able to negotiate through life, to have those emotions, to see them, to see myself, to see the tears come down, see the redness in my eyes. We need to accept ourselves for all those things. Thank you, Pamela. So, are you allowing emotion? How does emotion feel in your body? When does it feel? Maybe there's some cool tools. Like I said, the program Grey's Anatomy has been just bursting me open. And it almost feels like it's changing me. Yeah, disappointment's a big one for me. I clear disappointment. I choose to allow better, even though I haven't got what I wanted. And I'm sure that's normal for a lot of people, disappointment, frustration. I don't need it anymore. It doesn't serve me, but if I can't feel the emotions of it, then can't see where I'm blocked. And that's what it's all about, is just free flowing. And yeah, disappointment's a big one. Yeah, it feels like I want to vomit. But to laugh at that and say, I allow divine forgiveness, absolutely. I forgive God, I forgive myself, I forgive all these things that I thought was success, I thought was being a good dad, I thought was having a business. Thank you for the love. I appreciate it. It's accepted. And I send love to everybody watching this, because by me being vulnerable and sharing, hopefully I can maybe give permission to somebody else, and to open to the possibility that somebody else, that they can feel their emotions and love and live and expand and open. You are beautiful. Thank you. That feels beautiful inside my heart. So just maybe take a chance today. Feel some emotion, feel some fear, feel whatever, and just go sit with it and smile and take whatever shows up. And I'm going to guarantee you, each time you open and each time you're vulnerable and each time we accept whatever shows up, magic happens. And I want to give that gift to you, to know that magic's happening. And look at the beautiful comments and the beautiful statements and all the hearts and stuff like that from Pamela here. Thank you. It's going to be amazing. So emotion is important, and it's love, and we're getting through this. So I love you all. I love your beautiful comments. Thank you for holding space, Pamela. I'm not bad, or I'm not sad, or I'm not hurting today. I'm just allowing and flowing and shining, and it makes me feel good. Yeah, I hug myself every day. My self-love and my self-worth and my self-acceptance are growing every day. And I love it. And I love that I could share this, and I love that I saw these beautiful comments and these beautiful people showed up in this space to participate. So thank you. Thank you, thank you. Thank you, Pamela. Thank you, Kathy. Thank you. I see a bunch of other names, Magda, and a few others, a bunch of people I haven't met yet. But keep shining. Let your emotion go and see what shows up, because I am. So thank you. Have a fabulous day. Be the light, be the emotion, be the channel to let all this stuff through, so that we can clear the collective and move on up and set an example for all by living our life in the best way we can. Thank you, thank you, thank you all. Have a great day. You got this.